broke into our garden. He tried to get in the back doors.
What? You mentioned you were slightly more reserved back in the day, and you wore a mask, and you didn't. The last thing you wanted to be was to be known.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's the opposite. Like, you're part of a collective that are probably the most known people in the UK scene.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it now? How do you feel about being famous?
It's just unavoidable now, isn't it? So it's one of the things where, especially in like times like lockdown, I think Harry, there's a good point where me and Harry was in Selfridges, filming a video. He went to me, "You fuckers have ruined my life." He was like, "No matter where we go, we just get recognised constantly. We can't do anything." Because we'd been indoors filming videos all the time. Or we're so in our little world of like our bubble of go to shoot, go home, go to shoot, go home. And when you start going out and doing things again, you're like, oh, like people know who we are constantly.
Have you ever had any horrible experiences in the street? Like, one of the things that because I weirdly, despite my persona online, I've spoken about this a lot on the podcast. I'm quite a panicky person as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and my thing, I'm very good at hiding it, but my thing that I don't like in the street, I'll stop and speak to anyone, but is when you can see people talking about you, but they don't come up to you, and the one where they take a photo without you.
Yeah, it's constant. Yeah.
That must be fucking 1,000 times worse for you than it is for me. How do you deal with it?
I just change the way what I do things. So like, I'll go out at certain times. If I know school's end at this time, I'll just go, okay, I'll change the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or like if you'll see people down the road and you know that there's like a group of fans there, or there's a group of people that could be your fans across the road. That's how I used to be when, like, I guess growing up, you'd cross the road, be scared of being robbed. Now it's a case of like, oh, I don't want the worry of that going wrong. Because most people meet me, like, they're fine. They're like, you rarely get bad experiences where someone have no reason to like be like, oh, I feel anxious about this. It's just more a case of it just sometimes you're in a rush to get somewhere, so you just change what you're doing.
I can't even comprehend. I'm actually shocked. It's such an obvious thing, but I'm actually shocked that you would change like the times to not match like the school times and stuff like that.
It's just like we just changed a lot of different things. Like me and Frey used to go. I used to always go like shopping with Frey or go like restaurants, and now I just hardly ever do that anymore. Because you go to a shop and it's like the whole experience is different, right? So you have to change where you shop or change the time that you shop. So you might go on like a Tuesday at 1 p.m. or like midday because no one's going to be there. So you think, but then if I go into city now, it's a lot more like people in the city who work there who recognise me.
If you could change that and not be recognised, and have all the experiences and everything that comes with it still, but you're a masked person, would you have it?
Yeah, I'd still keep it. Weirdly, because it's a blessing and a curse. Because at the same time, I love it, but something inside me makes me feel like I don't. At the same time, like, so something makes me anxious about it, but when I meet fans and they're like super nice, we have a nice conversation, it's lovely. So there's no real reason to dislike it. I think maybe like things like if you look at the Sidemen houses, we'd have fans outside our house all the time. I'd be woken up at like 9 a.m. like with like little pebbles hitting my window.
What?
Yeah, it's just how it was. the first Sidemen house had no gate, so JJ parked his Lambo outside once with like bright chrome purple Lambo and left it out on the road. And they're like, "You're an idiot, man! Like, it's the most obvious car. Like, you just done a music video of it. Like, it's so obvious." And he's like, "It's gonna get found. Like, our house gonna get found out eventually." And we're like, "Was it? Why was it gonna get found out?" So obviously, a lot of school kids walk through that road. So like, "Oh, okay, it's a nice car. Oh, Simon House." And everyone started kids started knocking after school every day, or they knock on the way to school. So I'd finish my stream at like 6 a.m, go to bed, 8:30 a.m. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to sleep here, lads.
Fucking hell.
I remember like there was a Halloween where we all just like hid in a room in pitch black darkness. Like, please don't egg our house.
Fuck. I couldn't do it.
And then even that first Simon house, like some kid broke into our garden at like 3 a.m. because the fence had blown down because there was a storm. And he was just like bouncing on our trampoline. I think we're filming a gaming video, and he started pelting like a football at Vic's window. And I think it's on YouTube as well. Like, he's like in his video, you see Vic go, "What the fuck just hit my window?" Yeah, we go, like, lo and behold, finish our recording, go out. There's some kid hiding underneath our trampoline. He'd been at a house party, got drunk, just broke into our garden, just been Snapchatting on our trampoline, and like kicking balls at our windows, trying to get hold of us. He tried to get in the back doors.
What?
Oh, imagine that mid film and someone just walks behind.
Yeah. It's on our cameras, and I said to him like, because we then went out there, and I was like, oh, like, what are you doing? And he was pretending on his phone, and just walked like ignored us and walked.
What in your garden? He's just on the phone.
He got like his bike was by the fence. He got on the bike, just walked to it, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he just ignored me and carried on walking. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he started pedaling off. I'm like, no, we're following you. So we just followed him. We followed him to his house. We spoke to him outside his house, and he apologized. I was like, yeah, like, I'm just been in a house fight. I'm drunk. I'm like, but think about it. Ultimately, you just broke someone's garden.
You tried someone's back door.
And I was like, you tried to open someone's back door, and I was like, I get it. Like, you're a fan, but it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, it's on camera as well. Like, if we were dickheads, we could just go, right, this is attempted burglary here. We went the next day, like, no, we should, like, we're gonna be, like, it seems bitchy, but we're gonna go tell his parents, like, just to say, like, tell him, like, just not be a dickhead.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, and don't tell his friends to all come there as well, because we've seen him before. And they were just like fuming at him. And they told him to write us a card of apology. And the card he wrote was so shy. It was like, hey, sorry.
I mean, it's weird that he just pretended to be on his phone when he's in the back garden.
I think it's one of the things was like it's an awkward situation. He knew he'd fucked up, and he's like, right, how am I getting out of this?
It reminds me.
Oh, I'm on the way out. Yeah.
On the way out of the garden. I'll be up in a minute, Vic. So do you remember when we went out years ago, and we were on Riverside Road in Norwich, and it was where all these boats are.
Oh, and you jumped on the boat.
I'm not normally like that, I promise, right? But we were young and stupid, and I got on this boat, but I didn't know it was one of them ones that someone's in, like living in, like.
Oh yeah, got you.
So I just thought,
like a narrow boat.
Yeah. So I just thought I'm just gonna get on it, take a picture, and get off. And then some guy's like banged on the window, and he's gone, and he's get off my fucking boat. And I looked at him and just went, I'm waiting for my mum. I don't know what.
It must be like his human interaction just freeze and like what?
Yeah,
say it.
Madness.
I fucked off. I just sprinted the second he started bagging.
You were gone.
So that became like a normality, just having like fans at your house. So when we moved to the second house we moved to, it was like a private estate and a private gate and security. But even then, still fans found it, came in all the time, broke into our back garden again.
That's fucking insane.
They all mean well. That's the thing. So you chat to them and you say like. Because normally, for the most part, we just ignore them because we're trying to film and you hear like the gate bell ringing, you're like, oh, just shut up, just mute it. And sometimes they'll be out there for hours and you just go out and go, fuck this, I'm going out. So you go chat to them and say like, look, I get it, you're fans, but please don't come into our house. Like, we're just trying to work and we don't know what you're up to or what your intentions are here. And I get it, you probably want to get a photo or something, but we're never going to take a photo of you here, ever. Like, if you see us in Sainsbury's or you see us in Tesco's, I will stop all the time, chat to you, take a photo, no problem with that, as long as you're polite, always. But here, like not our house. Like, this is actually where we live. Like, this is not like some studio. This is where we live day to day. Like, and you don't know what we're doing in our day. So just don't wait out here for hours.
Yeah.
And they're always like, oh yeah, I get it. And you see, they're just young. They're just excited. And I guess you don't really think about consequences. And just ultimately, you don't really think anything outside of this is KSI and Sidemen's house. Oh, I need to be here.
Yeah.
You don't think you just get that excitement. People did like I remember I used to have to take down videos on YouTube all the time of people just waiting outside filming our house.
Fucking mental.
Yeah, we had like someone at YouTube who had to keep taking them down for us. So I just ping them a link and they go down.
Jeez, what are the percent? Like the majority of them are lovely, aren't they? But then
occasionally you get some arsey ones.
Yeah,
but they're ultimately they're still. They almost mean well at the same time. Like, they're just there to see you. Like, they're not necessarily there to like cause any harm. They're not there like. I guess it could have happened, but for us, I've never had any bad experiences where someone's like, "Fuck you," like.
Yeah,
they're always just calm.
Yeah, fair enough. I get a few, and I'm nowhere near that level, so I can't imagine what...
Do you worry about parking a Yaris outside your house?
2001 Toyota Yaris. Not for much longer, mate.
Do you get fans at your house?
I had some girl knock on my door years ago as well, and she asked me for a picture, and I was like, "How do you know where I live?" And I'd stupidly a couple of years before. This is before YouTube was a big thing. Put my address on because there's no like. I asked people to send me stuff that I could open in like a PO box. Like,
it's your address.
Did it to my address, but this was like I'd only been doing YouTube about 2 years. I didn't know.
It seems so innocent.
Didn't even feel like I had any fans, so to speak. Like it was like just like send them here. And she'd saved it, and she'd come from Cambridge to Norwich, which is about 70 miles. And I was like, didn't know what to do. I was like, yeah. And then she went to take a photo and it was really dark. So I went, you can have my light in here if you want. And then she's come in and then she's like, my mum and dad are out there. So I'm like, this is just the weirdest fucking situation in the world. Like, but to them, it's completely normal. Like,
yeah, we used to have it where parents would have, same thing, like driven their kids hundreds of miles to come to the Sidemen house. I'm like, I would talk to parents like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, understand it's weird.
Yeah.
And like I said, they definitely mean well, and I know they don't mean any harm. But it's just weird for us. It's just a weird experience. You're trying to just at home living your life, and someone's outside your house.
As a parent, you wouldn't do that, though,
No.
would you?
These parents did. Parents really think to make their kids happy, right? So if their kids like, we're going to Sidemen house, please.
So weird.